Hello Adventurer, welcome to Scratch Quest. Today is day 2 of learning math from scratch, and today we'll be continuing our learning of math where we were at numbers or addition, subtractions. A heads up, while recording this video, this is done while I'm live streaming, so you might find me stuttering, or you might find me like reading stuff. So this video in this video uh, will be just learning, and I'll sharing how I learn in day-to-day basics. Well, I'm using my phone, my yes phone, to write and take a note, and while I'm live streaming through my laptop, I'm recording through my mobile. So my live stream will be through this laptop, and the video I upload will be through my phone. So there might be some error and some noises. If there is any, I'm very sorry. So yeah, let's start our journey. Today is day 2, and we'll be learning with the help of Claude. I hope. Previously we learned about numbers. So in day 1 we learned about what numbers are and how number really originated from, what numbers are. Then we learned about the basic concept of 0, 1, and the importance of 0, the basic stuff. Now we are in, that was what we learned in day 1. Now we are in day 2. In day 2 we'll be focusing on learning the another basic stuff like addition, subtraction, and stuff like that. So we are in level 5. Level 5 quest. Our quest is to learn about addition. So addition, let's start with the sense. Another formula. You have 3 apples in a basket. So 3 apples in a basket. You friends walk around and you put 4 more in it. So we have a basket with 3 apples, and a friend added 4 more apple into that. Old school way. Before you know any shortcuts, you'll just dump all together and recount from the scratch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 apples. Notice something, you didn't need addition to solve that. Counting alone gets you there. So previously in day 1 we learned about the basic of numbers. So in the numbers we learned that addition, we learned that when we count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we know how many things are there in present in basket. So in a basket, how do we know there is 3 apple? We count from 1. So 1, 2, 3. We count from 1. That's a language of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We learned previously where there was no concept of numbers, we used stones as representing the numbers. Then we slowly evolved the stones into languages like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we assigned the numbers or the value as the language 1, 2, 3, 4. So here in addition it is telling us the same thing. So imagine we have a basket with 3 apples and another basket with 4 apples. To add them, what you can do is you can just mix them up. So you have this much apple, so this much apple. Previously this was separate basket. Now you just mix max them, and these are the apples. Now how many apple are there? Previously, to count the basket in each of them we say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Similar to that, we will count from the scratch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there is 7 apples. So there the addition of 3 and 4 is 7. This is the traditional way, or a very simple thing to understand of what addition really means. Addition means we have all heard, it just means adding things. But notice something in here. You didn't need addition to solve the problem of adding these 2 basket of apples. Counting alone gets you there. So here's the real questions. If counting already works, why did you even bother using addition as a separate thing? Think about it like, what if instead of 3 and 4 apples it was 347 apples and 256 apples? Would you want to dump them all in one giant pile and count them one by one all the way up to 603? Take a guess at why. Why would be a really bad idea? Not just uh, slow, but think about what could actually go wrong if you try to count from apple. Well, the thing is, the very thing that resulted in the invention of number is time. So, well, the thing that resulted in of time invention of number, that is time and repeated repeatedness repeat or second repeatedness is absurd to count them one by one again. That's why addition was invented. Now, as we are in like era of modern technology and era in an age where these things like addition seems really simple, but if you really think about it, even simple thing like numbers addition has a long history about it. So yeah, you're right that time. Let's push one level deeper because it takes a while, isn't it? Isn't the really? Here's the sharper problem. The more you count one by one, the easier it is to lose track and make it easier. Try counting 600 real objects out loud, one at a time, without ever losing your place, getting distracted, or double counting one by accident. It's genuinely hard. You may mess this up constantly. One sneezes, one blink, one distraction, and you might count 347 twice, or skip 512 entirely. Now your total is just wrong. You have no way of knowing what. So addition wasn't invented to save time, it was invented to be reliable, a method that gets you right answer without depending on your ability to stay perfectly focused through hundreds of individual counts. Here's the actually trick addition uses, and it's simpler than people think. Instead of recounting everything from one, addition says I already know there are three. I don't need to verify that. I just need to count forward four more steps from here. So 3 plus 4 means just start at 3, then take 4 more counts steps forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 landed on 7. That's it. That's the entire secret of additions. It's counting forward, starting from numbers you already trust, instead of starting from 0. So what does this mean? Let us understand. So when we say, okay, start from like 4 5, so remember we learned about this thing called placeholder or where number sits. Let's call this number land. Let's call this mysterious stuff that we know or talk about as numberland. The numberland, you will find lot of numbers going up and down, left and right. Now let's this I'll show you in the live too. So okay, let's see the numbers. As you can see, there is white uh, this white line, a straight line intersecting each other, or this type of line. Well, this is where number sits along. You can ignore this these lines, these two lines, and just focus on this straight line for line, as these straight line can be ignored for today's lessons. So this is straight line. This is where positive and negative numbers sits along. You might be wondering why I'm even teaching you this stuff, but trust me, once you learn about this thing called place number line which I have made up, you will know about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, any type of multiple division easily. Understand, not do it, understand it. So at the middle, at the level band, so at the middle is the zero, the one who balance it all, the one which we say doesn't have really any value, but in reality zero is the middle point. It separates the land of a positive and the land of the negative. In the land of a positive, it starts with the 1. Then the value increases as it goes to the right or to the left side. So at the middle, you got the 0. Then as it goes to the left, the value increases. And similarly, as we go to the right, you after into the left of the 0 and the right, as we go more right, the value decreases. It goes from -1, -2, -3. So the value decreases as it goes on. This is what we call the land of place. Let's call it land of numbers. Sorry, land of numbers. Let's call it land of numbers. Now, in this land of numbers, we can see how number really increases. You must remember this is infinite, so this can go on forever. It can be 1 minus 1 million, and you can see it in this graph. It can be plus minus. Well, I'm just saying you this graph to make it easier of how number really increases and how the concept really lands. So when we say, let's say we have 3 apples and 4 apples, a basket with 3 apples and 4 apples. Now previously what we did was we took the 3 basket of 3 apples and 4 apples and just mushed them together and counted from the very beginning. So we counted from the very beginning, called 1 2 3 4 5. Now we don't do that. We look at, now what we do is we look at the smallest number, which is 3, right? We look at the number 3, which is positive one. Then let's see what it tells us. It tells us to add. Add means go to the right. So when we say right, it goes 4 step. So what numbers comes after it? 4, right? So 1 2 3 4. So that is a number 7, which is the answer of addition. Now using the same concept, we can do stuff like 3 minus 4, 4 minus 3, which will come later on. As subtraction is much more interesting in my opinion, but addition is a safe sweet spot to learn about this land of numbers. In the land of numbers, as we can see, take any numbers. Let's take 4. Now let's say in 4, and you say you take 4 plus 2. 4 is the number where you start from, and the 2 is the number that tells you how much uh, position you need to move. Plus the sign is a number that tells you which direction to move. 2 is a number that tells you how many position to move. So to give you somebody, let's say 4, and the 4 means where to start. As we get 4, we say like we are in position 4, and we say okay, we are in position 4. Now let's say there is 4 plus 2, so we are in position 4. Plus means go to the positive side, go to the right. So go to the right and go to the right, but how many right? Plus 2 means 2 position to the right. So 1 is like 1 2. So 6 is the answer, which is the position. So when you move 2 positions, we get to 6, which is the answer. So addition is basically that. If you look into the land of numbers, land of numbers shows you how numbers really add up there. Rather than counting from the very basics, we basically take the number we have, then add the numbers. That is additions. Addition is just not just that. Addition is Addition means this. You should understand this. Well, it might sound confusing. If you really think this is complicated, please be sure to skip this part and stick to the normal traditional way if you find it easier. But for me, as I need to learn about this stuff really deeply, it really helps. This might not be a mathematical term used or something like that, but when I think about this, the line of numbers really help me. If you think about it, line of numbers is also found when you need to know about the stuff like placeholders, where we can know about the value of numbers. When we say 234, what is the value of the number 2? It is not just a single digit, it is holds the value of value of 100. How do we know that? Using the place of numbers or placeholders, where the value increases by 10. So the line of numbers can be a great accessory, great tools to learn much further. Now let's go to another part with Claude. Uh, so instead of recovering from adding everything, sorry for my recording. Instead of recounting everything from one, addition say I already know that there are three. I don't need to revise that. I just need to count for four more steps from three. So 3 plus 4 really means starts at 3, then take 4 more counting step forwards. That's it. That's the entire secret of additions. Counting forward, starting from a number you already have a true trust instead of starting from 0. Quick check. Answer using that exact idea, starting step forward, not just blotting idea. If I say 5 plus 3 walks me through, start at, I can say start at 5, then take 3 position forward. That's our answer. By the way, I'm live streaming, so if there is any like doing error in my voice and stuff, please forgive me for that. I hope I'm just off halfway. You told me I would say I would like to skip this basic stuff to directly go in like faster, but let's go slowly. Honestly, you got the right answer, but I'm going to push gently. You skip the actual step right again, and this is a formality. It's the whole point of the exercise. Jumping straight to tail tells me you might already know the answer from the memory, not that you walk through while straight. Let's actually do it slow, no skipping. Step one, step two. So, okay, my phone is heating up honestly. We step one, we trust that we are in. So, uh, sorry for the break. Now let's start again. Addition is simply adding stuff. When you say 2 plus 3, we say 5. When you say 3 plus 10, we say 30. Mostly we remember it by just memorization or just adding them, right? So we some of us memorize them, which is bad. Some of us know how to add. Some of us know how to add 300 plus 500 or stuff like that. Some of us actually understand how it works. There are three levels or more levels you go into it, but as we have learned up to now, we have gone up to level 3, where we actually understand how number really, what addition really means, what the sign means, what those indicates. I hear reason and is correct, but I'm going to be straightforward with you. I'm still not saying there are three individual landing spots where everything you explain the idea well, but I'm still asked for you the actual sequence number as we move. Let's make it dead simple, just simple balance the banks. Then take 3 steps forward. Now we will go to the stuff. Time we have known about addition, right? What the hell is this? But this recording is going to be very bad. That's exactly. I'm by the way I'm live streaming, so if you have not said it multiple time, but yeah. The three step model, no, that's the whole point. That's the entire this situation mark through I just state. Now he is. So we got 7. Let's do some practice questions. 7 plus 5. So 7 plus 5. What does 7 plus 5 means? So rather than counting from, rather than like putting them in a basket, counting from one by one, what we can do is we can just start from the number, which is the first, which is 7. So there is, let's start from 7. So I said move 5 positions, just like in the placeholder we need 5 positions. So when we move 5 position, that we have 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, 4 position, 5 position. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is the answer for 7 plus 5, where 7 in 7 plus 5, 7, 7 is start, 5 is the 5 is the number we need to move. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. 11 and 12, 12. So answer is 12. That is our answer. This is a practice from 7 plus 5. Let's take that's correct. One small thing. Start with the euro 7, 8, 19, 7, 8, 19, and I'm just starting. So, question number 3. Let's do another thing. 9 plus 4. Again, the same thing. Start from the 9 and go 4 position. So 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, and 4 position. Now let's add them. Let's go from 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Which is the thing we land on and which is the answer. So start from 9, go for position. So 8, 9, 10, 11, which is we land on. So answer is 11. That's it, our answer. Let's move on to subtraction. Why not? Okay, we are in subtraction now, guys. Subtraction. We are in subtraction. Hooray! We are in subtraction. That is a good thing. You have 9 apples in the basket. You take 4 out of the 3. Question for you. Level 6 quest subtraction. So we are in our level 6. Our quest is to learn about subtraction. In the previous quest we got about 15 XP, by the way, which level up to level 6. Subtraction. Hooray! Subtraction is really similar to addition. In addition, we mush the number together, whereas in subtraction we just take out the number. That's very simple as that. With 9 apple in basket, you take 4 to give a friend. Question for you. Use everything we have built. Addition. If addition is start with number takes forward, what do you think subtraction means? Well, it's very simple. Addition means forward, whereas subtraction means move backward. So 9 minus 4 means 9 is what start from. 9 is what start from, and 4 is number we go down. So after 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, we land on 5. So 5 is the answer of the subtraction. So here comes the interesting part that we talk about in our placeholder. Remember, in placeholder we talked about the stuff like how in a placeholder, remember in placeholder we talk about the fact that in 0, at the middle 0, in the land of the numbers, we learned about positive. We learned about the land of positive. Now we learn about the land of negative. The land of negative starts from the 0, and the value might be seen as increasing from -1, -2, -3. The value you see, the number you see like -3, -5, -7, 8, -8 seem bigger than -2, but in reality the -1 is the biggest negative number. And so as we go to the left or the negative number, the lower the number is. You can see or prove this by using the thing called placeholder too. So we have landed in the placeholder of negative. Now let's do the subtraction of simply 9 minus 4, which we have done. In 9 minus 4, just like previously, we start in the land of positive now. As the sign, if you don't know, if there is anything addition, subtraction, and you don't see any number in front of it, it is always positive. Positive is like the hidden ninja. You cannot see it, but it is always there. So when you say 9 minus 4, it is saying plus 9 minus 4. So when you say plus 9, we start at the position of plus 9. Now here is the different thing. Previously when we said plus 4, what we used to do, we used to move forward. So we used to go more to the right. More to the right, so we go from 10, after 9 we go from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now is the opposite for our is opposite in here. How is it opposite? When so here the opposite thing is the sign, which is the minus sign. Minus tells us just opposite of addition. It tells us move backward. So when you are a position of 9, it tells us move 4 step backward. So 8, 7, 6 and 5. So we land on 5, and the 5 is the answer. Now let's do other stuff with the help of Claude, and there are other interesting stuff where we learn about stuff like what we do when we do when you do minus 6 minus 6, what will happen we do if minus 8 plus 9, what will happen if it was minus 9 plus 8, what if it was minus 10 minus 12, and much more interesting stuff. So there are these questions which might sound scary, but as we go and learn them, it's really very easy. So let's verify addition, start the number, step backward. This why does this exist between subtraction answers questions, addition can't. How many are left? 9 apples give away. How many remain? Or what's the gap between the two amounts? I have 9, you have 4. How much do I have? Same backward. Stepping quick answer both. Let's take this with a couple of practice questions. Let's do a couple of practice questions. First we start at 8. So 8 minus 3. Simply start at 8. Right? Start at 8 and we go 3 steps backward. So start at 8. 8 minus means step backward. So 7, 6, 5. 3 step backward. So 7, 6, 5. 5 is what we land on. That's the answer. Similar to that, let's do 12 minus 5, which is very similar. Question number 2. Start at 12, go 5 step backward. So 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 7 is so 2 in 12 minus 5, we go from 11. So 11, 5 positions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10, 9, 8, 7. 7 is the position we land on. So 7 is the answer. 7 is where we land. So yes, the answer. The answer. Let's do if there is anything below. Here number 6. Okay, let's do the questions that we needed to do, which involves the thing called sign. So in our school, in most of our school, you must have heard about something like sign rule. In the sign rule, we talk about the stuff like, well, we talk about stuff like where minus equal plus, minus equal plus, minus equal minus, plus minus equal to minus, and we also learned about plus equal plus. We also learned about the fact that bigger, if there is, let's for example 10 and 9, here 10 is the bigger number, so whatever the sign is in front of the bigger number would be the sign that they share. So when you say 10 plus 10 minus 9 plus 1 would be the answer. But if it is plus 10 and minus 11 minus 1 would be the answer, because the sign is like the person who takes the side of a person who wins. So here minus in here, so here in here, so when you say plus 10 minus 11 minus takes the sign says, okay, who had the bigger sign. So first of all we say 10 minus 11, minus means going forward, so 11 forward means 1. So which sign is it? Minus. Which sign is it? Plus or minus? Which is the bigger one? Plus or minus? 10 or 11? Obviously 11. So sign will be transferred here. It's basically placeholder or stuff like that. So let's do the interesting stuff we all been talking about. Draw the place land of numbers, which was this. Now add numbers. 0 and minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 in this side, minus 4 up to minus 4 up to minus 5. Here let's do up to 5 2. So let's see. Let's say our number is 2 minus 3. Previously in 2 plus 3 it was very simple. We start at 2, plus means going right, so 1 2 3 value, so it was we landed on 5 and the 5 on the answer. Now here is the opposite thing. There is two sign in here, minus, plus and minus. First, as 2 is the positive, we start at 2. But in subtraction, minus means going backward. So we say minus 3. When you say minus 3, we go backward. So 1, 2, 3. We land in minus 3. Are we correct in that? Let's see. So we start at minus 2 at 2, then we move 3 steps forward, backward. So 1, 2, 3. We land in minus 1. Yeah. So when we say 0 in here, 1 2 3 4 5, they are all negative, then 1 2 3 4 5. So at first we are in 2, then we as it is 2 minus 3, we move we go 3 steps forward backward. So 1 step backward, 2 step one step backward, 2 step backward, and 3 sorry, we start at 2, there is 0 2, sorry, 1 step backward, 2 step backward, and 3 step backward, and we land in minus 1. Now it was in the condition where 3, the bigger number, was in front, in backward. What if it was minus 3 plus 2? Well, the answer would be the same. The order doesn't really matter. It's better if the bigger number is kept in front and the smaller number is kept backward, but it doesn't matter, the answer would be the same. Now the second question, so the important question, I would say, we have learned about minus and plus, plus and minus, plus and plus, we have learned about this. What about minus and minus? How does it make sense that minus and minus would equal an additions? How does it work? Does it mean like adding minus 6 minus 3 and giving us 7 8 9 minus 9, sorry, giving us positive 9? Does it mean that? So does it mean that when we add minus for example minus 9 and minus 1, it will give us positive 10? Well, that's where the biggest misconception comes to place. Minus and minus doesn't really mean plus. It just means a bigger number. It doesn't mean addition. It doesn't mean the sign will change. The sign will remain the same. As the rule says, it's a very common knowledge, the bigger number stays. Now hang on. You might be thinking, what does the rule mean? Why does it really matter? We'll learn what these rules of bigger number means. We have learned that whenever it is 9 minus 7, the bigger number sign will always prevail, will always be given. Why is that? So for example, in 9 minus 7, oh, sorry for that. So in 9 minus 7, that is for example 9 minus 7 is subtraction, the value will decrease. But which value, which adds sign do you take? It's the rule of saying take the bigger value. So 9 minus 7 will give us 3. Sorry, 2. So 2, but the bigger sign is plus addition, so we take addition. We'll learn why later on. Now let's first focus on subtraction. Let's why not do the bigger number one. To do that, we have to go back to the land of numbers. Yeah, that's why land of numbers are so important. We basically need this everywhere we go. So we have land in the numbers. The land of numbers is similar: 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Let's say it's minus 2, minus 3, minus this is 3 minus 2. How is it the answer is 1 but not minus 1? We all say it is, we all say that it is due to 3 being the bigger number. Why is that? Well, let's say it was 2 minus 3. It's 2 minus 2 plus 3. Minus and plus would give us, well, let's do these two scenarios, right? Let's do these two scenarios of possible. The simple one, 3 minus 2 and 2 minus 3 will prove why we need to keep the value, 2 minus 2 plus 3, why we need to keep the sign of a bigger number. So in here, first of all, let's do 3 minus 2. In 3 minus 2, first of all, we are in position 3. The minus 2 tells us go to the value, go to position to the right. So 1 position, 2 position, 1 and 2. So 2 position to the backward would give us 1, which is positive. So the answer is positive. That's why we keep 1, not minus 1. If it was the opposite rule, like for example minus 3 plus 2, then it would make sense. We go from minus 2 to plus as we go in minus 2 as we are in position minus, right? So in minus 3 plus 2, we are in position minus 3, right? We are in position minus 3. Plus tells us to move forward. So 2 position forward will give us minus. So minus 2 minus 1. The answer is minus 1 and we are in position minus 1. So the first number you see is the where we start. The sign tells us move forward or backward. The answer is the sign. It's not due to the rule. The rule is just make it easier to understand. In minus 3 plus 2, when we are in here, most people think that we start at the positive 3 or stuff like that. But no, this first number tells us where we start from. So we start from minus 3. The plus tells us move forward. Even though we are in minus territory, it doesn't need to always be negative. The plus tells us basically to move forward or backward. Here plus tells us to move forward, so we move forward, and it tells, and the number tells us how much position we move forward. When we move forward to position, we land on minus 1, not in 1. Similarly, in 3 minus 2, we land in position 1, not in minus 1. So the position we land on is the sign, It's not the rule, it's basically a simple way. We just made the retro rule or a simple thing to make us understand, and it's easier to know or remember. Now let's go to the actual hard part. That is minus 3 and minus 3. There is no positive sign, nothing. Now what would happen? Let's make our land of numbers again. We start from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So we are in land of numbers. So let's not even make land of positive, because there is no land of positive in here. What is it? We have learned that minus and minus would equal in like positive, right? We have learned that minus and minus equal to positive, but that's wrong. That's the concept of the sign is wrong. So when you say minus 3, at first we are in position minus 3. Now the minus sign tells us which position to go, forward or backward. The minus tells us to move backward, so we move backward. But how much position do we move backward? The number is here 3, so we move 3 position to the backward. So 1, 2, 3, we land in minus 6. So the answer is minus 6. Here notice, it might seem minus 3 and minus 3 have given a bigger number. It is a pos. Yes, it is the addition. Yes, minus 3 and minus 3 is addition. So minus and minus is addition. But it isn't the addition what of you think of. It's the addition of a negative number. So negative plus negative is bigger negative. If you compare, minus 6 is smaller than minus 3. Minus 3 is smaller than minus 1. As we go more forward, minus 7 is smaller than minus 6. So here when we say minus is equal to minus, plus minus is equal to plus, we are just saying negative plus negative will give us a bigger negative. It doesn't gives us a positive number, or a number that gives us a bigger number than the subtraction we just did, but it just tells us subtraction, and subtraction just gives us a bigger negative. That's it. That's the rule of adding of the numbers. So we have learned completely about minus, subtraction, additions, and stuff like that. Now let's have a quick review of multiplication table, division table, and stuff like that. Now you have the entire numbers. Subtraction, sorry, this is only no small. Coming next, level 7. So we have gone to level up. We have gone level up to level 6, and as we did all the calculation, we level up to level 7. Finally achieving the very milestone of learning a very interesting topic called multiplication table. Well, multiplication table is honestly very similar to addition. Well, you might think I'm crazy, but it's true. Multiplication is basically addition, but in injection steroids. Yeah, it's called steroids, because addition is really boring. What if we had to do addition part faster? That's what multiplication really is. Honestly, if you think really about it. Now we all had the long multiplication in our school of reading the table, memorizing table of 2 and 2, 2 2 are 4, 2 3 are 6. It's boring, it's long, and let's be honest, we don't like it. Most of us don't remember beyond 9 or 10. Most of us just remember or just try to hope to memorize them. But fear not. Multiplication is honestly really interesting, and you can do multiplication without the help of this multiplication table. Yes, memorizing will help a lot, but without knowing what multiplication is about, we'll never really learn math in that sense. For example, let's do a simple one. 2 multiplied by 2. It's a very simple concept. Honestly, you don't really have to think about it. 2 multiplied by 2. We all have heard 2 multiplied by 2, 1 is equal to 2, and 2 to is the 4. We have heard it is basically 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So what does 2 multiplied by 2 means? And why do I mean by this multiplication is closely related to addition? Well, we will find out. In 2 multiplied by 2, 2 multiplied by 2 means add the 2 times. And that's it. So when you say 3 multiplied by 3, add 3 times. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So let's take any example. Let's say 2 multiplied by 8. This 16 if you do in calculator. What does this mean? This just means add the 2 8 times. Yeah, that's what it means. So let's add 2 8 times. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. When you add them all, it is 4 4 4 4. 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. Kaboom! So multiplication is basically addition. When you say 2 multiply 1, we say add 2 1 time. When you say 2 multiply 2, add 2 times. When you say 2 multiply 3, we are saying add 3 times. To itself we are saying. So when you say 2 multiply 3, you're saying add 3 times, and you will get the answer that you get by multiplying 2 3 times. So it's basically the language saying 2 add 3 times. That's the language. Also, when I found out about it, this was one of the most interesting things that I learned in the math. It's very interesting, honestly. We all have learned what multiplication is. We all have memorized the thing, but never understood what it really means. So whenever you got the calculation, the on calculation by 426 into 526, it will use the another method that we have. But it is simple calculation, that 9 multiplied by 8, it just means add 9 8 times. It might, well, basically multiplication memorization helps us to shorten the thing. Rather than adding the 9 8 times, we can just do the stuff of memorizing what 9 times 8 is. But the basic, I'm just teaching you the basic of what multiplication really is. Well, yes, the memorizing in our classes of multiplication is not completely useless. It's just that we memorize them without learning what we are really memorizing. We're memorizing thinking multiplication table is just that. We are not memorizing thinking, well, this is due to this fact and we are using for this thing. Let me take a look. Yeah. Yeah, today that's it for today. Multiplication is really interesting. We'll be occupying this precious time of learning multiplication for tomorrow. Yeah, honestly, it was a really fun day. We learned about multiplication and subtraction in a really deep manner. Yeah, it might seem slow, but we'll go one at a time. At the end of the week, I hope we can complete this basic stuff. And yeah, thank you for being in this live. If you are, please be sure to subscribe and like. And if you are in journey of learning some stuff, please be sure to join with us. It doesn't matter if you don't subscribe or not. Please be sure to learn with us, be in this journey. It was really interesting. Honestly, I failed in this journey really time, but I feel this is it. If not now, I don't know when. So yeah, tomorrow at the same time I will be coming back 1 hour at a day. We'll be learning, moving one step forward. So meet you tomorrow at 2 p.m. I think. Bye bye, and yeah, see you in next video.